Namaskar everyone, it's Mahashivratri Sadhana day 14 and I want to tell you that yesterday I had a 100% raw day and I felt completely different this morning and I feel different, just everything's different. In fact, my food was so raw that I decided even to soak my sunflower seeds so they weren't as kind of dry and crunchy. So must have done something great. So where shall I start? Yeah, it's almost like my brain was telling my body to do something and my body would actually do it. Sometimes I get the feeling it's almost a bit like a robot in the sense that I don't have to think and it's not a struggle to do the actual movement and to do the physical action. It just works a bit like a mechanical machine, and it's just really nice, you know, when you're pushing up into some kind of strong moves, you know, my arms just do it, my joints just do it. Feels really good. And I even Virasana popped into my mind and I was like, yes, I'm going to do Virasana. And I know it wasn't within the Angamadana sequence of moves. I kind of did it between, when did I do it? Between things, just because I wanted to just sit there and enjoy how I was feeling and, you know, get my knees having a nice workout. And because that was actually one of the hardest postures that I had to kind of get through with Isha Hatha Yoga so far. I haven't done all of the courses with Isha Foundation, but within Angamadana most things were quite easy for me because I'm reasonably flexible and you know, touching the floor's easy and bringing my head towards my knee is not always easy, but most of the time it works pretty well. But sitting in Virasana for me was really hard, and I would literally be in it for maybe, at the beginning, 10 seconds, and my breathing would be like, I can do this, I can do this. And it was, you know, not painful, but very uncomfortable. And I was able to extend sitting in Virasana for longer periods of time really quite quickly because I was doing my 40 days of Angamadana once a day, and so very quickly I was able to sit in it for 5 minutes where my breathing wasn't laboured, it was just very calm, and I'd literally just be like, oh my god, my sitting bones are sitting on the floor and my back is kind of back and upright and feeling grounded. And you know, there's no pain in my knees or discomfort, and it's like magic. It really is like magic, and just that lovely feeling of energy you get when you're sitting in Virasana. Gorgeous. So I did a bit of that today. So I don't know if Sadhguru would ever find out if he would slap my wrist because I wasn't doing it in sequence. So maybe I'm a naughty Isha Foundation Isha meditator. Anyway, what else? Yeah, so my chants were kind of more kind of active, more alert, a little bit faster. The sounds that I was making was a little bit louder, so my vibrations felt kind of a bit more intense and I could feel it more within my body. Around my shoulders and everywhere, and I really think it's to do with the fact that I'm less blocked up with what I didn't eat yesterday. The other thing I was able to achieve yesterday was to go out into nature, and it was full moon yesterday, Purnami. And me and my husband Robin went for a walk just before it went dark, and it was snowing, very slightly snowing here in Bath, so we put all our hats on and everything and got out into the cold and literally did some running for maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes of running because we had some downhill bits and it just felt good. And then we got into a field and walked down to this muddy stream and across the stream, and then just the other side of the hill, I just noticed the moon coming up, and I was like, what is that? Is that the sun? No, obviously it's not the sun because it's nearly dark, but it was kind of that orangey, rich, yellowy orange moon colour, and it was just amazing. So we just walked up slightly up the hill and just stood there for 5 to 10 minutes, and Robin got out his sketchbook and sketched the scene because it was just so bright. The moon was giving off so much light, and it wasn't hidden behind clouds or anything, it was just crystal clear. So we were just kind of, I was standing there in awe anyway, and Robin was analysing the scene artistically, and I decided to do my Yoga Yoga Yogishvaraya chant, and I did quite a number of rounds of that, and just kind of watching it slowly rise, and that was rather a beautiful moment. So I'm glad that we got out there properly. I also did everything and more that I wanted to do yesterday, and yeah, I stayed in instead of going out, and I went on YouTube and I put in all my taglines for my Mahashivratri videos. I put in descriptions, I linked them up in a playlist so they flow on from one to the other. I then learnt how to finally make a banner that goes at the top. I had to do that through my smartphone, I couldn't do it on the laptop because it wasn't my laptop and I couldn't quite work out the pixels. What else did I do? Oh yeah, I found out how to make a second YouTube channel, which I talked about yesterday, and so I've called it Yoga Joe, YOGAJO. So that's my new channel, and it's going to be all about things relating to yoga, and I'm sure I'll be talking about Isha Foundation and inner engineering and maybe Angamadana, but as I know, I'm not allowed to give very much away because it's supposed to be a wonderful surprise, so that when you do go and do the course you don't really know anything about it. So I talk around it rather than about it absolutely, if you see what I mean. And I'm sure my lovely friend Deepa will tell me if I'm going down the wrong track, because she's very good like that. And yeah, so everyone suddenly started coming home from town and doing what they were doing, and I still hadn't made my business card, which was my main plan for the day. So we had dinner with the whole family, and I brought my bowl to the table full of raw food. I had 2 pears, I had spinach, I had a whole avocado. What else was in there? Oh yeah, a small beetroot I chopped up in there. A banana. Oh yeah, I squeezed in some satsuma, almost a bit like a dressing. Pepper, positive pranic food. Felt really good. Robin was a bit jealous when I took it to the table. And then I had pineapple for dessert because everyone else was eating that anyway, fresh raw pineapple. So that felt really great. So then the whole rest of the evening I had loads more energy to carry on, and I stayed up until 1:45, which is a bit late for me, but I was determined to get on Vistaprint and see if I could make this design of mine look good. So I'm just going to get my artistic director, which is my husband, to just have a last look through it and make sure that I've done it as well as I can with my images and my text, and then I'll send it to print. So that's very exciting. The other thing I did yesterday was this. I designed, all in French, and used the dictionary to help me with my new words. It's kind of an Isha hat really, because it's all natural yarns. I'm using mohair, which is this one, and I'm using, what's it called again? another kind of wool, but it's 100% wool and it's totally soft and yummy. And I worked out all my stitches and I've started my single rib. So that's really exciting. So instead of wearing a dark hat, I can wear my light colours with natural fabrics and be even more of a Isha Foundation meditator. And actually in my practice today, I don't know if I can show you, I can't, it's really high up. Maybe I'll just take this off, hang on. Yeah, I was doing some of the preparatory poses and this got loose and fell off and went all the way down to my wrist. So I had to kind of stop my practice halfway through and take some clothes off, draw this back up my arm and tie it tighter and everything so it stays there. So maybe cotton binding isn't that great after all, because it just keeps on stretching. And hang on a minute. Back again. Yes. If you're interested to find out about why natural fabrics are important with your Isha Hatha yoga practice, or any yoga practice for that matter, then I'll put a link below to the blog that Sadhguru writes about it. It's really interesting. And in fact, yeah, there's all sorts of blog posts written about different things that you can do with the way you clean yourself, the way you shower, the way you drink, the way you eat, that will just really benefit you with yoga and life in general. So this is 100% cotton, this is 100% cotton, and in fact sometimes I'm using someone else's mat at the moment because I'm travelling, and it's a very kind of synthetic plastic, and I'm just really starting to notice that it feels weird sitting on it when I'm doing my meditation. And I know that some yogis sit on this special mat, and the actual fibres of it is kind of energising in itself because of what it's made of. So I'd love to try that out and see how it feels. So sometimes I actually roll back my yoga mat and sit on, for example, a lot of these carpets are wool, so that just feels much nicer under me to sit on wool than on plastic. And I have looked into buying one of those woven cotton yoga mats, but I've spoken to some people about it and how you almost have to spray it with water to make it more grippy, which at the moment sounds a little bit impractical, especially if it's chilly and I don't know, it's just, I'm not ready yet. And it's white and my house is so dusty with all the renovations we're doing and dirty that it would just not last, and it would just go kind of grey / brown / black very quickly. So yeah, maybe that's for the future when our house is a bit more sorted. So yeah, generally day 14 has brought me a feeling of being sharper, brighter, everything's a bit more intense, more sensations, and when I'm lying my body down on the ground, it's not like I'm lying on something, you know, with my guts and my stomach. It feels much better, and it means that my breathing is much more full and kind of more open and easy, and it's my stomach isn't stopping me from making the breaths that I want to make. So yeah, that feels really great. And lastly, Robin said, "Why are you telling the world all of this?" And I think one of the reasons is that one day I'm hoping to be an Isha Hatha yoga teacher, and I kind of really wanted to do it this year, but because of moving country and all the kind of upheavals my family are going through and all the changes of learning a language and everything, I'm actually going to wait until next year. The other thing that I want to do is, so that I'm totally ready and prepared and in the right mental space for the yoga teacher training, is me going to the Rejuvenation Centre and doing the 21-day course to come off lithium. So yeah, it's a really big change for me and my family, and I also need to get together some more money because I've got to pay for flights, I've got to pay for the 2 courses, I've got to make enough money so that when I'm gone, my husband and Heidi have enough money to live off. So there's kind of a lot of things that have to fall into place for me to be able to get to India. So I can't wait. And then instead of me not talking about all the things that I love doing and I'm passionate about and talking around it, I'll actually be able to show other people firsthand in the room with me experience Isha yoga together, and just see other people benefiting just like I am, and changing their lives just like I am every day in a small way, but in a significant way, and in a way that, just like right now, I'm feeling totally buzzy and lively and just so much energy. It's amazing, and that's probably why I'm talking so fast. But I think today's going to be a good one, and I'm going to someone else's house for dinner tonight, Robin's other side of the family, and they have a lot of cooked food and they're not used to my yoga practices, so I'm going to take with me some extra fruit and vegetables so that I can chop it and put it into the meal if there isn't enough on the table already that I feel comfortable eating, because I'm hoping that tomorrow I'll have an even better morning session, with having had more cleansing and more exiting, because I am a bit constipated at the moment. I get constipated very easily, which some of you may not need to know, but it really does change your yoga practice and your life and your mind and your brain and your thoughts and everything. So yeah, I think it's time to sign off. Please do subscribe and press the like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much, and namaskar everyone. Bye bye.